Another ICC event knockout stage and another loss for Team India. Hello everyone and welcome back to TradeStars Cricket Diaries by Cricket Cult. And Siddharth is so sad today that he couldn't join us. So I have with me Rohan Gupta to talk about the finals. And obviously it's been a disappointing final for India. But what did you think about the final? Where did New Zealand do really well and where did India really fall short?
Well, I think Lakshay, first of all, welcome and thank you to all our viewers for joining in. Well, Lakshay, I think New Zealand was the better team, definitely over the 6-day period, I should say. Over the 6 days, the rain gods were crying and now all the Indian fans are crying. But I am honestly very happy for the New Zealand team. They probably adapted better to the conditions. Clearly, they were there. They had a couple of games against a very good England side. Indian team right after the quarantine played an intra-squad game, but let's be honest, that game doesn't have the intensity of an international match, and that to the first ICC World Test Championship final. So all in all, there's lots to ponder upon, but as you said it, another ICC tournament, another loss for the Indian cricket team.
Yeah, well, the Indian fans will think that it's been 7-8 years now and we haven't really seen that trophy in our hands. And the New Zealand fans will be happy that finally, after 2 losses in 15 and 19, we finally have the trophy in our hands. And well, as such is cricket. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Today, we'll be looking at some of the stocks of TradeStars that we thought went up with this finals and some of the stocks that we thought necessarily came down with their performances. And we'll have a discussion on that. So Sid, we'll start with, I think I'll take up India and you'll take up New Zealand. And we'll start with stocks that rose in the final, players that really performed well and not only increased their value, but increased the chance of their team for winning. So who do you think were the stocks that necessarily rose for New Zealand? The value for the stocks rose for New Zealand?
Well, up to me, I would have bought stocks of all 11 players. But jokes aside, Lakshay, I think one stock which probably was expected to do well and everybody must have invested was Kyle Jameson. I mean, we all know what a pick he has been for New Zealand, and probably for all all our players playing on TradeStar fantasy platform. Definitely a super investment, taking the 5-wicket haul in the first innings. His batting, I think, even though he did not make a lot of runs, but that change in momentum which happened, probably at a crucial time when New Zealand had lost those wickets, and his sort of cameo, kind of changed the dynamic. So Kyle Jameson definitely for me. Also, apart from his wicket-taking ability, he is good at, complements their other seam bowlers. So he's definitely right up there for me. Second one, the talk of the town these days, the newest boy on town, Devon Convoy. I mean, after the two test matches against England, now again the first innings, very mature in very tough conditions, Lakshay might add. And second innings too, did not throw away his wicket like Tom Latham, which was very surprising. So Devon Conway definitely has reaped good rewards and will keep reaping good rewards for everybody who will invest in him. I think New Zealand cricket, New Zealand fans and fans all over the world. Third one, according to me, I think was Tim Southee. For some reason, I did not have a lot of hopes from him. I don't know how many people invested in him in terms of trying to see a return. So he really surprised me. I was very, very happy for him because I think he had his ups and downs in international cricket, especially when it comes to a big game. But definitely first innings and then all the wickets he took in the second innings, Tim Southee. So Kyle Jameson, Devon Convoy or Tim Southee are 3 trade stars for me from this match who definitely, helped their stocks rise up. What about you? I mean, I don't think you have much to choose from.
Well, the thing about India is that, sure, we didn't get their best performance, but there were a couple of players that I thought did really well, and only if they had more support from the rest of the team, maybe India would have given New Zealand a much tougher fight. But just to get back on your TradeStars players, in the previous episode, Sid and I talked about both of these bowlers, Kyle Jameson and Tim Southee, and both of them really performed well. And we predicted that their stocks would rise, and their stocks have risen. And I think that they would do really well in the upcoming series as well. Coming down to my players, I think for one, Rohit Sharma did really well. I mean, sure, we expect hundreds from him, we expect big scores from him, but outside India, he hasn't really, in Test cricket especially, he hasn't really performed in the recent past. But now we've seen positive starts from him with Shubman Gill in the first innings when he had a really good partnership. Even in the second innings, he was really fighting to build a total. Unfortunately, he got a really good delivery from Saudi. But I thought Rohit Sharma is someone who gave India a start and got himself to a start, but couldn't convert. Maybe next time, or maybe against England, we'll see that from him. I think the second player that I'm going to pick is Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami was fabulous in this final. I thought he bowled really well in the first innings, and he was that one bowler who was genuinely looking like threatening. People have pointed this out in the commentary box so many times, that he's an unlucky bowler who'll bowl really well. He'll create loads of opportunities, but he won't get those wickets. And I'm so happy for Shami that he finally picked up 4 wickets, and like he got India to that position where they could bowl out New Zealand and probably get a lead, or restrict New Zealand to a total. Another player I think is Ishaan Sharma, because Ishaan Sharma was very good in the first innings, and sure, he didn't like get the wickets in the second innings because Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor took the match away from India. But I thought Ishaan Sharma bowled really well in the first innings. The moment Henry Nicholls came to bat, and anytime there's a left-hander, Ishaan Sharma comes into play and picks up that wicket. So I think Ishaan Sharma was very valuable. So for me, these were the 3 stocks that I felt whose values rose, and they should be looked forward to as well against the series in England. Now we'll move on to the players that we necessarily thought didn't really perform that well, and the value for their stocks sort of dropped. We'll start with New Zealand. Rohan, which players do you think were players whose value dropped in this final?
Right. I mean, just before I jump to the New Zealand team, just something I want to add about Mohammad Shami. I think his value finally is being realized for the whole Indian cricket team, and probably is a reward for all the investment that Indian cricket and the BCCI made in him in, let's say, 2015, 16, 17, when he wasn't at his best in terms of his fitness. There were certainly question marks about his bowling rhythm and inconsistency. But last 3 or 4 seasons and across formats, Lakshay. So I'm very happy for Mohammad Shami as an Indian cricket fan and as a former fast bowler as well. Coming to New Zealand, about the TradeStars who really did not do well for them and were expected to. I think number 1 has to be Tom Latham, and I'm not saying he did bad, because it's very hard to judge over one match. But I think his shot in the second innings, that shot selection was really surprising for me. He's not a batsman you associate with playing a rash shot or losing his concentration, especially now that he has been a backup captain for Kane Williamson. So I think Tom Latham's shot selection was a little off there, and that disappointed me as somebody who really likes him. Trent Bolt is the second one who I felt was slightly off color. We don't usually see that from him. Not that he bowled bad again, but I think with Jameson and Saudi, they took away the limelight. So Trent Bolt probably, I was before the match, I remember us having a conversation off record about how I'm scared that Bolt might come, bowl a 6-7 over spell, swinging ball, might get 3 top wickets. He didn't do that, but he didn't leak runs either. So Trent Bolt is number 2. Very hard to pick number 3 because the whole team did well, and I don't want to be mean to BJ Watling being his last game. So I think maybe Henry Nicholls didn't get to bat in the second innings. First innings maybe could have contributed and given New Zealand a slightly better lead to kind of come and put more pressure on the Indian batting lineup. So these are the 3 TradeStars who kind of were off in the match from a New Zealand's point of view. What about you? I mean, Indian players, definitely there's lots of them probably.
Well, I think we would be a little harsh on Henry Nicholls if we said, because he just got to bat once, but sure, I mean that delta decrease in stock would have happened. But yeah, I think Henry Nicholls is fair enough. Well, coming on to Team India, I have a few of them actually. We'll start with Jasprit Bumrah, because he had a break from playing and he wasn't with the team throughout when they traveled, and also he had a break. Then he played for Mumbai Indians and he didn't really perform. We didn't really see that Jasprit Bumrah who picked up wickets at will for Rohit Sharma. And then when he played now in the final, I just felt like India had 2 seamers and Ashwin, and that was their bowling attack, to be very honest, especially in the first innings, because every time he would try to build pressure, he would give a loose ball, maybe a half volley or ball on the pads, and someone would flick it away for a 4, and all that momentum and all that pressure that was built at the other end would just go away. So I felt like because India went with this lineup where they played 2 spinners and 3 pacers, when Shami and Ishant got tired after bowling 25 overs or so, and when Bumrah got the ball, he didn't really capitalize. He didn't pick up any wicket. Sure, he was like, there was a drop chance, but I don't think he was the same Bumrah that we know, and his stock is definitely fallen down after this match. I hope for the sake of Indian fans.
Are you saying after his marriage?
Okay, I know that Indian fans have gotten into trouble by bringing their wives into the picture, so I'm going to stay away from that. But jokes apart, I think we haven't seen the Bumrah that we saw before, and his stock has definitely gone down. Maybe we'll see better Bumrah against England. Another player that I think didn't really perform well was Cheteshwa Pujara. He's supposed to be India's solid rock at number 3. And this time he had the perfect opportunity because India needed to bat an entire session without losing a wicket at least, and he lost his wicket. He played tentative shots, and he was never really comfortable on the crease against any bowler, whether it's Bolt or Jameson or Saudi. So I think Pujara was someone who wasn't really himself in this match, and therefore didn't really perform well. Another stock that I think would have dropped is Shubman Gill, because I thought that he was a very promising opener, and they had an option of going with Mayank Agarwal, but they backed Shubman Gill because he got an 80 in the intra squad and he got a 90 against Australia. But I didn't really see Shubman Gill at his finest, like at his best. But he has a long way to go, and we cannot judge anything right now. Surely he'll come back strong, and we hope so too. But this was a final in which he could have performed better. But yeah, so these were the 3 players that I thought whose stocks necessarily fell down in this match from Team India. And well, Indian team has a lot to think about, and so do our TradeStars users, because TradeStars mainnet is going live on the 28th of June, and all the fans will be heading out to make the portfolio of their fantasy stock and picking their fantasy stock and investing for the lots of cricketing action that we have to come in the future. Sid, any final thoughts on the Indian series that's coming up against England, and a lot of cricketing action for all our fans there?
Well, definitely, Lakshay. I mean, as you said, TradeStar is going live on the 28th of June. So lots to think for the Indian cricket team. Before that, the tour to Sri Lanka with the India A team, as I call it, giving all our fantasy TradeStar users, everybody who wants to kind of put their cricketing mind and try to make some money out of it, a chance to sign up on the TradeStar platform, find out the different types of fantasy stocks, invest in your players. They don't necessarily have to make a team. You can invest in one player or you can invest in 20 players, see their portfolios. Something I'm very excited about, Lakshay, I've never invested or never been a part of a IPO in a stock market for a company, but I'm definitely going to be part of an IPO on TradeStar platform, seeing all those players being locked, being unlocked, seeing shares of Virat Kohli or a Ravindra Jadeja or a Steve Smith or a Ben Stokes. Very exciting for me. Thoroughly looking forward to it. Lots to think. Finally, as they say, put your money where your mouth is. For us, for you, for me, for all our viewers. So exciting times ahead. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And as we go off, for all the Indian fans, maybe it's time to switch to Euro. And for all the New Zealand fans out there, just enjoy this moment and have fun. That's it from us from this episode. Stay tuned for more such exciting episodes from Cricket Cult. And Sid will be back. If not Sid, we'll have Rohan with us. And definitely see you in the next episode. Follow Cricket Cult for more such videos. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And head out to the TradeStars platform to check out their fantasy stocks. I am Lakshya Malhotra, and that's it from my side. And I have with me Rohan. Goodbye. Take care. See you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.